I'm Chris, and I'm an adventure guide and expedition leader. I've climbed Mount Kilimanjaro 4 times. This video will show you what the day-to-day on a Kilimanjaro expedition looks like, as the Global Shenanigans team make their way along the 7-day Machame route. After 25 hours of travel time, I have finally made it to Moshi, Kilimanjaro region of Tanzania. I always come out a few days earlier than the group because there is plenty of really important preparation work that needs to be done before the group arrives. The start of the Kili trip is all about rest and relaxation. That's why the first full day is spent at Chemka Springs. It's a chance to hang out and get to know the new adventure crew, as we'll be spending the next 13 days together. There's an underground water table that runs down from Kilimanjaro and out across the savannah. The stream sprouts up here in Chemka for a few hundred meters. The water is the perfect temperature, completely fresh and clean. Later, we head back to the hotel for the mountain meeting to answer any final questions and do the last-minute packing. I'll have a full kit list video coming soon, so make sure you're subscribed for that one. The adventure begins. Starting our hike at 1800 meters, the Machame gate is already higher than any point in the UK. We begin in what's called the montane forest environment. Thick bush, flowers and trees. The trees have more trees growing on them. It's considered a rainforest, so of course it starts raining. The rain turned out to be quite refreshing as it helped to fight off the heat. And although we had full rain gear, we didn't bother put it on, opting to enjoy the shower instead. Today's hike took roughly 4 hours, from Machame Gate to Machame Camp. We woke up to a spectacular morning. As the clouds parted, the sun shone through and a mist evaporated off of the forest around us.
Sometimes it is slippery. The helicopter. Yeah.
Today's hike begins with a steep, rocky incline to gain immediate elevation. We climbed up with a view of Mount Meru behind us, poking out from the cloud inversion below. This is Eliezer, our head guide, resident mountain goat. How long have you been a mountain guide for?
I mountain guiding started in 2003.
2003.
Yeah.
How many times a year on average would you climb Mount Kilimanjaro?
Sometimes per month it is like a 3.
3 times a month.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So per year sometimes you're going to do like even like 30.
30 times?
Yes.
30 times a year?
Yeah.
So you know the mountain pretty well.
Yeah.
Today's camp is named Shira, after the second of the 3 volcanic cones on Kilimanjaro, Kibo, Shira, Mawenzi. The elevation was starting to become apparent as you could see the clouds moving below us. The hike took 7 hours and got us up to 3,845 meters. The crew were all looking solid, keeping a good pace, no complaints, laughing and joking as we went.
Hakuna matata, tunashuka baranco, hakuna matata, tumefika hapa Shira, hakuna matata. Ojambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana, wageni wakaribishwa Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata. Hakuna matata.
We had quite a stormy night last night. Quite a lot of wind, a bit of rain. Luckily we were all tucked up in bed, so no big deal. But we've woken up to a crazy view of Mount Meru above the cloud inversion. Second highest mountain in Tanzania, third highest in Africa. Shira over there, which is the third highest of Kilimanjaro's 3 volcanic cones. And then, best of all, clear views of Kibo, the tallest point of Mount Kilimanjaro, with quite a lot of fresh snow on it. Snow all around it on the volcanic crater, which is very exciting to see. So hopefully it stays clear for us today, as we have a long day walking all the way to Lava Tower, 4,600 meters for lunch. It's a acclimatization day. We're going to be very high up there, and after lunch we'll then start to walk back down again to 3,900 to adjust, which is at Baranco camp. So big day today, hopefully it stays clear. Everyone's pretty excited to get going and start making our way closer to the mountain. Our third day on the mountain is all about acclimatization. We were heading towards the Lava Tower at 4,600 meters, where we'd be having lunch before making our way down to the lower Baranco camp. Hiking high and sleeping low is a mountaineering technique that allows the body to adjust to the lack of oxygen at higher elevations before heading down lower to rest and recover. Yeah. The official gong. We have made it.
Yeah, no, in a minute.
4,600 meters. Womp. We made it. This is the Lava Tower, the Tower of Lava. Good spot for acclimatization. We've come up here to have lunch in one of these huts, that one. Have lunch at the hut, 4,600 meters to acclimatize, and then we're going to go down lower and camp at a similar elevation as today. There's the mountain, Kibo Peak right there. Yeah. The descent down the valley is one of my favourite sections of the whole mountain, as it's lined with these otherworldly trees. They're called Dendrosenacio Kilimanjaro, and are only found in the high mountain regions of East Africa. We eventually arrived at Baranco camp at 3,850 meters. In the morning, we'd be taken on the notorious Baranco wall.
Blustery morning. I'm sure you can hear the gusts of wind ripping through the camp. It was pretty wild last night. Some real powerful gusts coming through. But the camp survived. Everything was put down pretty solid with some massive boulders. So no worries. Everyone actually slept pretty well, I think, because we're now a bit more acclimatized to the altitude. So over time, you start to sleep a little bit better. That is one of the things that happens when you go up high. It's just a little tricky to sleep. But we woke up to another incredible cloud inversion. Clear skies ahead so far, and today we're going to be taking on the Baranco wall, and we'll be doing that pretty much first thing in the morning. Because we're doing the 7-day route, it means today is just a half day, so we're in no rush to get out of camp. So we're going to make our way up there, and then we'll keep progressing to Tarangire camp for lunch, and then that's where we'll be staying for the rest of the day. The 7-day route is great because we have 2 half days now instead of 1 full day on the 6-day route, so we get a bit more time for chilling, recovering, resting, and that gives us as much energy as possible for Those are some other companies' campsites, and then come check out Global Shenanigans. Absolutely solid. All tents remain standing. No issues over here.
The Baranco wall is a hands-on scramble that takes us straight up the side of the valley. There's some rock hopping, a bit of climbing, and a couple of squeezes to get through, all with insanely epic views behind us. Apparently, high winds have been known to blow people off of the wall, which is how it gained its notoriety. But it's really not as difficult as some blogs try and pretend. It just has some exciting ledge sections with a small amount of exposure. I find it's best to go for a late morning start. This gives time for the bottleneck traffic to pass, so my group and I can enjoy the wall to ourselves. Once we'd scaled the wall, we were truly above the clouds and on our way to Karanga Camp at 3,900 meters. Karanga Camp! Woo! It's official. Our last day before the summit. Making our way to Barafu Camp, 4,600 meters, which will be our base camp before the summit push tonight. Starting sometime in the early hours, waking up at midnight, hiking 1 or 2. Onwards to Barafu. Dear esteemed climbers, that's us. Hit that gong.
Thank you.
Soon. All right, we've made it to Barafu, which is our final campsite before the summit push. We're at 4,600 meters. We're spending the afternoon resting, staying in the tents, reading, listening to music, whatever, just trying to gain and maintain as much energy as possible as we have a big night ahead of us. We're going to be waking up sometime around midnight, hitting the trail about 1 o'clock. We'll hike through the night, hitting the crater rim sometime around sunrise, which is about 6 o'clock, 6:30. From the crater rim, it's about an hour, maybe a bit longer, to get to Uhuru Peak, which is the tallest point of all of Africa. Our campsite is pretty epic. We're on the mountainside. We're in those tents over there. Amazing view looking out to Mount Mawenzi, which is the second highest of Kilimanjaro's 3 volcanic cones. And Kibo is up there in the distance. You might be able to see some snow just on the top of it. Those glaciers, we're going to be above them later tonight. We're going to have an early dinner, probably about 5:30. That way we can rest a bit more, have dinner, have our trip meeting, rest as much as we can before the hike. This is everything that you need for the summit. Balaclava, beanie, buff, puffer jacket, warm jacket, jumper, thermal, another thermal. Warm pants, leggings, 2 pairs of socks. Three liters of water, gloves, waterproof jacket, waterproof pants, medications, sun cream, lip balm, snacks, sunglasses.
All right, boys, kakas.
Haya sasa, mambo matamu.
Midnight. Time to begin. The plan was to walk through the night, pole pole, hoping to make it as close to the crater rim as possible for sunrise. The time is 4:30. We got about an hour and a half until the sun comes up, and the sun will bring power and energy to get us to the top.
way. Kenya that way.
The sunrise is a huge milestone for the summit push. It brings warmth, energy, and a chance to finally take in the breathtaking views from the highest point in all of Africa.
Made it to the crater rim.
Say Uhuru! Congratulations! Uhuru! Yeah!
Sign touched, photos taken, 5,895 meters, highest point on all of Africa, tallest freestanding mountain in the world. Mission complete. But it wasn't over. Tanzania is more than a mountain. So we spent the next 3 days at a safari lodge and enjoyed a well-earned rest. We visited Lake Manyara and Tarangire National Parks, as well as Ngorongoro Conservation Center.
Mambo.